are deployed in a leaf spine network where two switches are configured as MLAG pairs, and another two switches are configured as a separate MLAG pair, and they're layer 3. These are disconnected through a layer 3 spine connection. And we could replace these with longer links and a WAN. And I don't know exactly if that would kind of mimic what you're talking about, but effectively you'd have two pods, L3 interconnected, and from a load balancing perspective, it's just a basic ECMP, right? Each switch has two connections to a spine or a WAN. Those have two connections to destinations, and so we just layer 3 load balance across all available links.
Okay. Great. Yeah, because currently we have the topology running with all the internet service to the customers. And for example, with BPLS, if we build a tunnel between two sites, by MPLS is building a LSP tunnel, and the traffic is not balanced across the entire links in the backbone.
Gotcha.
But as I understand, with VXLAN is possible, right?
Yes, because at this point, so connecting down to host or customer-facing interfaces, that traffic hits the switch on a particular VLAN. That VLAN is mapped to, in VXLAN parlance, a VXLAN network identifier, or a VNI, and it gets encapsulated in a UDP packet, and that UDP packet just gets routed to a remote VXLAN's tunnel endpoint, a remote switch, and at that point it's just straight layer 3 routing. Whatever your route policy is, if it's if you have multi paths, then that will load balance. If you have less preferred routes, then when your most preferred path goes down, then the less preferred routes get installed, and you have that redundancy just based on layer 3 routing. Okay.
Yep. Got it.
Okay. So without further ado, let me get into. We have this kind of front-end system that allows us to attach to the consoles of all of these devices. So we have two spines, MLAG pair 1, which is leaf 1 and 2, and MLAG pair 2, which is leaf 3 and 4. And this is kind of a lab walkthrough. So we're just going to quickly do the couple of configs to actually bring up that lab. So we create a port channel and we drop it into an MLAG. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, was on leaf 3, config mode. And we're going to put that, it's just an access layer switch. We're going to put it into MLAG 4. And we're going to put the ETH4 interface into that port channel. Copy paste from this PDF is super irritating. Sorry. Okay, so we can see that we have an MLAG between leaf 3 and leaf 4. And if I look at the port channel that I just created, my active ports are local Ethernet 4 and peer Ethernet 4. So looking at the topology, that is effectively this port channel down to this host is multi-chassis port channeled up to these two switches. We're going to configure the VTEP interface, which is the VXLAN 1. And I'll kind of step through each of those configs. So we create a loopback interface, and that IP address, 172.16.0.56, is the same VTEP address on both leaf 3 and leaf 4, so that any traffic that hits either switch, they look like the same remote VXLAN tunnel endpoint to upstream devices. We can take a look at that in a little more detail here in a moment. But effectively, we are going to assign the same address from leaf 3 as we are on leaf 4. And if I'm still connected here now, log back in. So I have 2 sessions open. Got connection on leaf 4 now. This was done for us already, but it has the same address as configuring on leaf 3. We're going to create a VXLAN interface. We're just going to give it a couple of details. First, we're going to tell it that it's the source of this, which is like the tunnel. We're going to give it the source of loopback 1. We're going to create a layer 2 to layer 3 or layer 2 to VXLAN VNI mapping. And we're going to tell it what to do with broadcast, unicast, and multicast, or broadcast unknown unicast and multicast addresses, or BUM traffic. We're going to tell it, if you get any traffic on VLAN 12, encapsulate it in VNI 12.12 and flood it to all these remote VTEPs. In this case, we're only sending it to one other switch. Okay, so now I have a host in VLAN 12 connected on port channel 4. And let me log into that guy. So host 2 just happens to be, for our lab purposes, it's just another virtual EOS instance. And so we can see who are its LLDP neighbors. So we're connected to leaf 3 and leaf 4 on port 4. And our address, 172.16.112.202, is up and connected. And if I ping my gateway, well, I don't have it as a route, but my upstream switch is .1. If I go back to the topology, what's happening is both leaf 3 and leaf 4 have a virtual address of .1. So we're doing first hop redundancy protocols without actually running a protocol. And I'll show you what that looks like here. So we have a local IP address of .4, and we have a virtual address of .1. And leaf 4, let me grab this address. I'll just open up another session. And jump on leaf 4. So both leaf 3 and leaf 4 have a local physical address. Leaf 3 is .4, leaf 4 is .5, and they both will answer for .1. So from a host perspective, you have redundancy. Whatever link they use to send traffic, if it hits the left side, then they'll hit their gateway of .1 and route accordingly. And likewise, if they hit come up the right side, they'll hit their .1 gateway and route accordingly there as well. So now on my host, I have I know where